dolls! So recently you'll probably have seen that Katie uploaded a video of her top 5 favourite Bratz movies. Today I'm going to be telling you guys mine. Now after watching her video, I'm pretty much going to be saying a lot of the same stuff that she said, but honestly that's not really surprising because we share a lot of memories with Bratz and we kind of see the movies and just Bratz in general in the same sort of light. So yeah, it's kind of a given that a lot of the things I say are going to be similar to hers, but I hope you'll enjoy this video anyway. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so number 5 was really hard for me because, as you know, there are only 8 movies, so to pick 5 from that, it was kind of really hard. So my number 5 was between Genie Magic and Pampered Pets, but I did feel myself leaning a little bit more towards Pampered Pets. So that is what I have chosen. So this is one of the later Bratz movies, came out in 2010 I believe, and I was actually a Bratz fan before this movie came out, which is not so the case with so many of the other movies. So this was actually really exciting to actually see the release of a new Bratz movie. This one is quite different in terms of story and setting. It's actually still set in Stylesville, I think, but it looks different. Like all the streets look different and Chloe's house looks a little bit different too. And the girls themselves are actually animated a little bit differently in this one, but it's not so dramatic and I actually really like it. One thing I really love about this movie is how the girls look. Their hair animation is more pretty and satisfying than it ever was before, and I love their outfits. And again, obviously, as Katie has mentioned, I really like how they sort of branch out from the usual outfits that they wear in the other movies and in the TV series, and they made some new ones which look amazing. I also love how each of the girls get quite a few different hairstyle changes and also different sets of clothes throughout the movie. This movie is also quite humorous. I love the police and the monkey and their relationship, and the villains are quite funny too. The general story of this movie is quite heartwarming and I love the songs. I always wish there was more clearer versions of them released because they're some of my favourite Bratz songs. All in all, I love how different this movie is, whilst still having all of that greatness that is Bratz. Number 4 is Girls Really Rock. So I really love how this one takes the characters outside of Stylesville, which I always find really exciting because it's like an adventure. This adventure takes them to a performing arts camp, and growing up, Katie and I really enjoyed some of our school camps, so we can understand that kind of excitement. Of course, watching this always made us dream that we could go to a camp as cool as Camp Starshine. I still wish that. Even the name is so cool, Camp Starshine. I love that. I love the idea of not just camping, but being able to learn real skills and getting this chance to perform on stage at the end of it. I think that's the part that was most exciting for me because I've always loved the stage. So yeah, I really just love the general idea of the camp and I love the setting. It looks so beautiful and peaceful. I love the new characters that are introduced, like Anna, and her and Dylan are so sweet. And Madame Damidov, is that how you say it? I've forgotten how you say it because I haven't actually watched this movie in a long time and I usually just call her Madame the Tide Bun. Like the Bratz and that call her in the movie. But you all know who I'm talking about. She is great. I think she's hilarious. I love her. The whole experience looks so fun and I think that the girls and the guys would have made such great memories on this camp. It's a hard thing to describe, but I just love that kind of thing. And I like to imagine what that would be like in real life. Unfortunately, I've never been able to experience anything like that in real life, but yeah, it's cool to imagine. And I just thought of this, but as a sort of personal story about this movie, if you've seen this movie, you know that ballet is a pretty big theme in it. Anna is a ballerina and all that kind of stuff, and I think Sasha takes on ballet as well, and all the girls are doing it at some point. And Katie and I have always wanted to be ballerinas, and we still do, and so we love the fact that there was ballet in this movie. And we love the scene where Sasha is doing ballet and then Madame Demidov, or however you say her name, she comes in saying, "One more time, Sasha!" And so we quote that to this day all the time. And when we would go to school at lunchtime and recess, we would stay in the classroom when there was no one in there, and we would practice ballet, and we would pretend to be Madame Demidov or Madame Demidov and Sasha, or Madame and Anna, or just someone. And so Katie would be dancing and I would be, "One more time, Sasha!" Insufficient extension, you stay after class and practice. And all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, and we'd always open like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, arabesque 2, 3, back 2, 3, yeah, we just loved quoting that all the time and just practicing ballet. Well, practicing ballet as if we really knew anything, but it was really fun, and we just loved quoting those scenes from this movie so much. It was really fun, and that's a really, really happy memory, and we spent a lot of lunches and recesses just doing that. So yeah, that's a very happy memory that is tied to this movie. And of course, I love the general story that Bratz always tells, and that is the value of friendship. Chloe quotes Aristotle at the end, and I think that it is one of the most truest quotes ever spoken. I love how in this movie they show that as friends you can and normally do have individual dreams and goals, but you should always stick together and support each other, because there is nothing more important than friendship. As we've gotten older, that is a lesson that has become more and more true for us. Without friendship, there is no point to anything, not even our dreams. And let me just say that the looks the girls have in this movie are amazing, especially the ones at the end. I love those. Number 3 is Rock Angelz. Rock Angelz. So unfortunately I don't have an individual DVD of Rock Angelz. I have the double pack that comes with starring and styling. I really do need to get the individual cover at some point, but anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Rock Angelz. I'm just going to cover the bottom one up so you can pretend I'm talking about this. This movie is iconic for Bratz. It was actually the first one I watched, and it kind of kick-started my whole love for Bratz. Katie brought it over to my house on one of our first sleepovers, and we watched it on a portable DVD player, and of course I loved it. I know all of the Bratz movies and TV shows off by heart, but this has to be the one that I have memorized the most. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen this movie, but I can tell you that I will never get tired of it. Again, I love how they leave Stylesville, but not only that, they actually go abroad in this one to London, and it's just such an adventure. Now again, as Katie also mentioned, this movie isn't the first Bratz movie technically, but it's kind of the beginning of everything for Bratz. So it's the birth of Bratz magazine, they meet Byron for the first time, and it's where they form their rock band, which isn't actually referenced too much again in the later movies or in the TV show, but I still think it's really cool. If you don't know, I love rock music, so I love how they formed a rock band. The name is so cool. If it wasn't already taken, I would so start a band with that name. And the outfits, oh my gosh, the Rock Angelz outfits are amazing, and Pretty and Punk and Treasures, oh my gosh, all of those are so high on our cosplay list. This movie also has my favourite soundtrack. I love it so much, I listen to it all the time. I love the lines too in this movie, like I said, I know them all like the back of my hand. Oh, and let's not forget the storyline between Chloe and Nigel and Cameron. That is really great stuff. I feel like I'm really not describing that well all the stuff that I love about this movie, but it's just so hard to describe everything. It's Rock Angelz, it's classic, and it's such a good time for Bratz, and I just love so much about it. There's so many happy memories tied to it. If there is any movie I can always count on to make me happy, it is Bratz Rock Angelz. Number 2. Bratz Forever Diamonds. Forever Diamonds. Again, I do not have the individual cover for this movie. I really need to look into that. But yeah, I have the double collection of Diamonds and Genie Magic. But yeah, so let's just, I'm talking about Diamonds. I really should have got the individual covers before I did this video, but anyway, you all know which movie I'm talking about. How I love Forever Diamonds. It's definitely another really iconic one for the Bratz. I've always kind of seen Bratz Forever Diamonds and Bratz Rock Angels as the main two movies for Bratz. I don't know, is that just me? Anyway, I really don't know where to begin with my love for this movie. It's my second favourite, but it's so close to my first favourite that it could almost be a tie. As Katie said, I just love the general aesthetic of Diamonds. Everything about it is so pretty and glamorous. The Forever Diamonds outfits are just fabulous. I love them so much, and I just love sparkly things in general, so I really appreciate the general theme of this movie. And once more, I love the adventure. This movie always inspired Katie and I to go on a road trip together one day. We're just still waiting on our pretty trucks that open up into runways. There's a lot of humour in this movie, which I love. Again, Katie and I are quoting from it all the time, especially Bodine and the Tweevils, or should I say the Threevils. Their greatness is at an all-time high in this movie, I swear. And of course, one of the greatest parts about this movie is Byron/Dot. That's great. Katie and I quote that all the time. Even my brother likes to quote that, and yeah, so much greatness in that. I love it. And again, there are really a lot of sweet memories tied to this movie. One of them being the first time that I watched it. It was at a sleepover at Katie's house, and I can see the whole thing in my head still. I can remember how I saw this movie for the first time and exactly how I felt. It's a hard thing to describe, and it might seem strange that it's such a special memory to me, but nevertheless, this movie has been quite dear to me over the years. There's just something really magical about it. Speaking of magical, my first favourite Bratz movie is Fashion Pixies. Are you surprised? Katie and I have always shared this as our favourite Bratz movie, and I think it's because we love how different it is. Magical creatures aren't really shown as much in Bratz as they are in Barbie, so I think it makes it extra special when they are. Now, if you know me, you know that I also love magical things, especially fairies. Although they're called Pixies in this movie, which is kind of funny, but I guess that just adds to the uniqueness of Bratz. So actually, even though I said I really do like fairies, I didn't actually grow up liking them, but I just thought that the Bratz as Pixies was the coolest thing ever. For starters, let's just talk about their hair and their outfits. How amazing! Am I right? Of course I'm right. The Bratz really are the most fashionable Pixies. Katie and I have been fangirling over them for years, and as she told you about in her video, we used to dress up in pixie outfits, or what we would call our pixie outfits, and Lena and Cymbeline were our favourite characters in the movie, so we tried to look like them. We also used to talk about adopting the attitude of the dark pixies when we were at school and stuff. So we would arrange these things, like when people would come and talk to us, we would speak to them like, Yasmin, did you address me? We actually planned to act that way. It's just really funny. This movie really captured us. I love the prettiness of it. Everything about it is pretty. It also has some really funny scenes in it that we love. It's really hard again to describe everything I love about this movie so much. It's just such a special Bratz movie because they never really made anything like this. Fashion Pixies really is, for lack of a better way to describe it, magical. Again, as I said, it's very unique. It's magic, Bratz style, and I think that's what makes it so special. And that is my top 5 Bratz movies. This list was really hard for me to make as well because, again, there aren't many Bratz movies and I love them all so much. Of course, I also love Desert Jewels and Genie Magic, Genie Magic almost made it onto this list, but Pampered kind of just snuck in there a little bit. Then there is the first Bratz movie starring and styling, as well as the live action Bratz the movie. I didn't include those two on the list because they are kind of different, and I know you can't really compare, and the list was just hard enough to make as it is. Of course though, they are both iconic and I love them with all of my heart. Honestly, I feel really bad cutting out these 4 movies, but it's a top 5, so what are you gonna do? Just know that I adore all of the Bratz movies. They are all very special and close to my heart, and I could fangirl about all of them all day. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Feel free to check out Katie's top 5 if you haven't already. Let us know your top 5 favourite Bratz movies, and we'll see you in our next video. Peace!